What's up, guys? Gunslinger Firearms and Gear here. We have a couple of high point pistols for you. We have the C9 and the 45 ACP. Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about the C9?
Well, I mean, to be truthful, and I think Terry's going to be in the same boat, we don't have much experience with these guns. I mean, they are base model guns, but they apparently get the job done. They go off, they go bang, they do what they're supposed to do, and we're going to find that out. But as far as the C9 goes, the single stack 8-round magazine, and this one also has got a 10-round extended magazine. They are striker fired, has a safety on it, bag release where it's supposed to be. You can get cool custom grips for these now. Adjustable rear sight, orange in the rear and yellow in the front. I mean, it's kind of heavy. You've got a slide that's made out of a zinc alloy, a frame that's made out of plastic, a stationary barrel. It's a fixed stationary barrel. I mean, from everything that I've heard and read, the guns are actually accurate. And with most fixed barrel guns, I think that might be the case. So, anything you know about it or anything, Terry?
I don't know anything about them. I just know that a lot of people online talk trash about them, and I've also seen reviews of these guns, other reviews, showing that they really are a viable firearm. They're very affordable. It's a great base model gun from what I've heard from other people. How much do these cost?
Well, I think I've seen them anywhere from around probably $160 to $200 for the 9mm, and I usually see the 45s anywhere from probably around 180 to around 210. They're both kind of a heavy gun. I mean, most people that were looking for a concealment gun or a carry gun are going to be looking for something that's going to be lighter, smaller, whatever. But if this is all you can afford, and it goes bang, and if someone comes after you, threatens your life, and this protects you, that's all you really need, I guess. I'm more of a shooter, and I want something that's going to be there to get potentially thousands of rounds through it. We're mainly, I think, just doing a exploratory review to actually see if either one of us happens to even shoot these well. If we like them, I mean, heck, it might be more like a moped, fun to ride, you just don't want to see your buddies riding it. So, that being said, hell, it could be a good car gun, truck gun, bedside gun, whatever. I mean, if it works, which we're going to find out, hell, might have to eat our words after so many years.
Does that take Glock mags?
Oh, Glock mags? Will a high point take Glock mags? Well, hell no, they won't take Glock mags. They're a single stack only. This is an 8-rounder, and this is a 10-rounder. From my experience that I do know this, that's what they work with, the factory magazines. I don't think that I would try any aftermarkets at this time. There might be something out there that works. I've not seen it yet. Okay, I think we're going to get these things loaded up and hopefully do some good shooting.
Okay, before we take some shots, I want to introduce you to our new friend. That's Robbie Zombie, the rubber dummy. It's Halloween time, so it's time for us to have some Halloween fun. Now it's going to be time for me to take a few shots. First 8 out of a high point C9. Let's see what goes on here. Trigger is atrocious. It's terrible. Well, other than my shots where I was trying to shoot more where I would naturally with any other gun right here, I actually had to take the trigger and place it into this first bend of my finger. After I did that, my rounds came to center and I definitely made heart shots. It functioned, and I think now it's time for a 10-rounder. Let's see what it does. It functioned. I mean, the recoil was not too bad. A little bit, you can tell there's more weight on the top of this gun due to the large zinc alloy slide, but it wasn't any more than any other gun that I've ever fired. It wasn't, terrible. It worked and put rounds down range. We'll load some more up and see what we can do.
I'm going to start off with the smaller magazine that has the finger groove on the bottom. And this is the C9. Feels a little weird going home. I seem to shoot a little bit left with it as well. That trigger is definitely would take some getting used to. This isn't bad. Honestly, this feels a lot better than what I thought it would. So let's do some shooting with the 45. Now I'm going to run some rounds through the 45. We're going to start off with some brass cased Winchester, and then move on to some steel cased Tula 45. Pretty much all those went center mass. I'm not a fan of the trigger pull. It seems to be very, it just feels odd to me on the reset. So let's try the Tula 45 and see how it functions.
Well, it looks like Mr. Rubber Dummy's taking some pretty good hits, Terry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how his chest cavity looks. Hey, the Tula ran through it fine. One thing I noticed, and something we're going to take a look at, it seemed like there was an issue with the slide wanting to go home with the loaded magazine. All right, Jeff, let's get your impressions on the 45. The trigger seemed to be pinching my finger a little bit. I don't know if it was slap or if it was just where I was holding it or what, but see what it does with you.
Okay. I've got, these are 9-round magazines, by the way. We just found that out. Gonna put this in here and I'll see how I do with it. Right now, not too well. There we go. And this one has the ghost ring sight on it, by the way. instead of a regular, just a notch rear sight, this has got their ghost ring sight. The 9mm that we're shooting had their standard sight. Malfunction. Malfunction. Oh. Trigger pull is slappy. It's not a hard trigger. It just slaps. I'd say the pinch or bruise that Terry's getting on his fingers because it's actually slapping the trigger forward. I'm hitting point of aim. It's center punching, but it's an odd, trigger pull, but it's slapping my finger forward, kind of like the AK slap with older import triggers, or actually American-made triggers on import guns. It's not comfortable. Gonna fire a few more. They're all going center. I think I'm gonna try for some bowling pins now. Give old Robbie Zombie a rest. Just doesn't like to go home. That needs a little work there. Well, I made it through a mag, but I'll tell you, that frickin' hurts.
Nah, same spot as mine.
Yeah. Maybe it hurt me talking bad about it. It's a self-defense mechanism. Hell with it. At least I'm hitting with it.
Hey, it seems to be hitting pretty well too.
Yeah. I'm having to aim a little high when I was shooting the bowling pins. But as far as on the rubber dummy, it's shooting probably about 3 inches below point of aim, but I'm hitting consistently. Oh well, we'll try some hollow points in it. I have a magazine full, 9 rounds of Federal Hydroshock, and we'll see if it feeds and how it hits. Nose down in the magazine. Let's see if it'll, just with a tap, if it'll go forward or not. No. Let's lock it back. Made it safe. Push back on it and see if we can get a round in there. All right, rounds in the chamber. Another nose dive. Whoop, went forward that time. The rubber dummy's turning on me as I'm shooting. Still hitting point of aim, but the target itself is moving. But I'm hitting, but truthfully, the malfunctions are kind of distracting because I'm constantly looking at the gun rather than looking downrange, just because I think I'm going to get another malfunction. Terry and I were talking before, and this gun and the 9mm both are new guns. I relatively don't think this has been fired. Now I know the 9mm hasn't, and they could take some breaking in, and we've not really had any malfunction with the 9 that I can think of. But not going into battery and stuff, that's kind of unnerving to me. But it is putting rounds on target. Okay, maybe a little experiment time. I'm going to aim right at the throat of the rubber dummy and see where a point of impact is. I'm going to put my knuckle of my trigger finger on the trigger like I did with the 9mm, just to see where a point of aim is. Well, malfunction, of course. Safe. I don't know if you can see or not. I'm going to walk down here. Point of impact was down here. So you can't really see into that, but I saw it move quite a bit. Well, let's back up and try it again. Or was it? Try it again. I'm going to aim at the base of his throat.
Right below the sternum.
Okay. Wow. That's why. I guess maybe the paint was coming off from the chin, but I actually hit a little lower. Now I'm going to aim right between that sucker's eyes. Wow, it's shooting low and a little to the left. We know that now. At least the zombie would probably live. Let's try it again. Dead mofo!
Hey guys, thanks for checking out Gunslinger Firearms and Gear. Be sure to click on that subscribe button, like us on Facebook, and we got a little bit of a preview for our next video coming up here.
And maybe a little bit something else too. I don't. Clowns suck. The clowns don't live on this range. Well, thanks for watching, and we had to have a little fun. Look for this rifle that Terry's got right here for one of the subjects of our next video. It's an Armalite AR-180B that's been modified, and gonna do a little highlight on it, and I think you'll kind of enjoy it too. But that's all for the high points. They work, I guess. But if you like them, buy them. Me, I'll stick to my Glock, Sig, whatever. Maybe I'm a snob.
Just to show you guys what the 45 Hydra-Shocks did to him. Check out the holes they left. That is a hole puncher. Bye, clown. Guys, we were loading up and we saw where one of the 45s is stuck inside the rubber dummy, and it looks like it completely turned around backwards. That looks like the base of the bullet. And stuck right there was one of the hollow points that expanded, stuck in the dummy. That is a Federal Hydra-Shock. Did not make it all the way through. All right, there is another Federal Hydra-Shock. That's the one that was turned around backwards in the dummy.
The fact that the rubber dummy stopped the 45 and everything else has made it through it. I mean, yeah, humans aren't made out of rubber, and this is relatively thick, but it stopped it. You know, so I don't know.
I don't know what that says about 45.
Yeah, or maybe
Or the density of the rubber dummy.
the density of the rubber dummy, or even the barrel diameter and engagement surface of the barrel on the high point. So there's all kinds of things that could go wrong here.